guys, my name is Daisha and welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to talk about the different biology majors and concentrations Towson University has. I am a recent Towson University graduate. I received my Bachelor's of Science in Cell and Molecular Biology with a minor in Biochemistry, Bioinformatics, and Biotechnology, and it finally came. So I will be opening this on camera too towards the end of the video. But again, I just wanted to talk about the different majors and course offerings Towson has when it concerns the biology department, the requirements, and I'm going to highlight some of the key courses that I think are important. If you're interested in any of the majors or you're curious about the progression of the biology program, how long it takes, if you want to read the handbook from the bio department, I'm going to link all that stuff in the description below so you can read at your leisure. But let's get into the video. Okay, so Towson offers 4 biology concentrations. One is cell and molecular biology, one is ecology, evolution, and conservation, and the third one is secondary education, and the fourth one is undeclared. And what that basically means is you don't pick a concentration and you basically take courses from all 3 concentrations in a way, and you just get a broader perspective of biology. Your degree is going to be broader. It's not going to be as specified. So starting with cell and molecular biology, which was my concentration, your courses are really going to center around microbiology, immunology, and physiology. Those are the main things you're going to focus on, and this major is really good if you want to enter lab work, potentially if you want to get into the medical field, if you want to become a veterinarian. This is the most common concentration people pick. For ecology and evolution, you're really going to focus on things like botany, zoology, conservation, and ecology, and this is really good if you want to do environmental work, or if you want to work in environmental education or government policies relating to education or specific agencies like the EPA. This is a really good major. And the secondary education concentration prepares you to teach grades 7th through 12th, and it will also prepare you to pass your praxis, which will allow you to get your teaching certification. So those are the 3, well, technically 4 concentrations that Towson has to offer. Requirements. So at Towson, biology is a little different. So obviously you apply to the university, you get in, but certain majors at Towson, just because you declare that as your major your freshman year, doesn't mean you get to ultimately progress into those upper level courses. So for example, your majors like nursing, you can say your freshman year you want to be a nurse and you apply to the nursing program and they tell you no, you're not accepted into the nursing program. However, biology is a little different. It is one of the majors at Towson where you apply your freshman year. If you want to declare your major as biology, you are typically on track to progress through. The only requirement is you have to maintain a minimum GPA of 2.0, and in order to obtain your Bachelor's of Science or your Bachelor's of Arts, depending upon how you pick your electives, but usually if you're a bio major, you automatically are going to get your Bachelor's of Science. You have to have 120 credit hours, and 32 of those credit hours have to be upper level courses. So when you get into college or you start taking courses, you'll notice each course will have a course number. So for example, if you're taking a bio 101 or a bio 110, that's typically your lower level, your introduction. But things like cell biology or your molecular biology, those will be 300 or higher. They'll be a little bit harder. You'll have a little more coursework. So that's what's considered to be upper level. More things will be expected of you, and you need 32 of those to graduate. I'm a little bit different. I went to a couple of universities. Well, I went to one university before I arrived at Towson. When I was in high school, I went to community college and I participated in the dual enrollment program. So basically what that means is while you're in high school, you take college courses, and I began that my junior year of high school. I took English 101, I took health, I took French, and then my senior year I did a full course load. So I took over 12 credits, and I started taking, intro to bio, things like that, courses you'll take your freshman year. So I came to Towson with a lot of transfer credits. Originally, I wanted to be a nurse, so I graduated from community college with my Associates of Arts in General Studies. I transferred to a university called Notre Dame of Maryland, and I got into their nursing program. I realized it wasn't for me. I just didn't like nursing. I didn't like patient care, and ultimately I transferred to Towson and declared my major as biology because it was closest to the credits that I already accumulated from preparing to get into the nursing program. And I discovered that I had a strong passion for STEM education and education in general, so the bio major just really worked out for me. I guess some of you may be wondering why I picked cell and molecular biology over secondary education, and the reason why is because I really wanted to focus in on the sciences. Secondary education, you're taking science courses, yes, but they're mixed in with a lot of education courses as well, so you may be missing some of those electives that I was able to take. And I also don't see myself in the classroom forever, so I figured majoring in secondary education would not be for me, but it does give me the option, since I am a bio major, to do what the state of Maryland calls a transcript analysis, which they look at your transcripts to make sure you have enough science credits. You can take your praxis, and you can do an internship, which is something I did my junior year. So I'll be good to go to work in a classroom as a full-time teacher if that's something I choose to do later on in life. That was a side note. But those are the requirements again. You just need a 2.0, and you need 32 upper level credits. You need 120 credits in total to get your bachelor's. And if you're a bio major, if you're looking into getting into medical school or those competitive internships, you're going to need higher than a 2.0 anyway. So those requirements, most students it's not there to stress you out. It's just there to set a bar, and you just go above it. So nothing to stress about. These are some of the courses that I feel like are important. I'm not going to mention the course number or the number of credits, because if you don't go to Towson, or if you're not interested in Towson, you're just interested in the bio major in general, the course numbers will be different anyway, but the subject matter is the same. So these are some key courses that I found to be important or challenging for me along the way, and I just want to share that with you guys. So Intro to Cell Biology and Genetics, this is probably the first bio course you're going to take, even if you don't declare your major as biology. Ultimately, everybody has to take a science course, and most of the time it's Intro to Biology. So some of this stuff is remedial. It'll sound familiar, things you heard in high school. You're going to talk about cell structure. You're going to talk about molecules. You might talk about tissue, cell respiration, photosynthesis, mitosis, meiosis, and you might graze genetics. So that's intro. You're also going to do intro to ecology and evolution. Again, some of the stuff may sound familiar from high school. You're basically going to talk about various populations, how they change. You might talk about phylogenies, various species, natural selection, Charles Darwin, evolution, things like that is what you'll see in that course. Genetics, this is a course I really enjoyed. I love genetics. So it kind of links to Introduction to Ecology and Intro to Cell Bio in a way. So again, we're setting those building blocks to get to those upper level biology courses. But you're going to talk about like Mendelian genetics, you're going to talk about Punnett squares, you're going to do gene mapping, you're going to look at structures of the chromosomes, like mutations, repair, DNA, replication, recombination, transcription, translation, stuff like that is what you'll learn in genetics. Cell biology, at Towson, this is an upper level course. This is actually a course I took my last semester at Towson. And it really, from the name, you're really just going to focus on the cell and various cellular processes as they relate to eukaryotes. At least in my course, we really focused on eukaryotes and we grazed over prokaryotes. Molecular biology, this course links to genetics. So if you do really good in genetics, you'll probably do really good in molecular biology. And again, we're building. So we're taking what we learned in that lower level and we're applying it to a higher level. So in courses like these, instead of it being true or false or what is, you might get, okay, so your patient has X, Y, and Z, or what happens if this stops working in a cell, what will the next step be? So we're doing more application based questions at this point versus what is simply this process. But in molecular biology, you're really focusing on DNA, RNA, protein. So essential dogma. It's something that you will know, you will remember from this course, and you will talk about replication, transcription, and translation in way more detail. You will know all the mechanisms, all the ins and outs of it. That is molecular biology. Um, I'm just going to talk about what I took, but at Towson, you have two different options for courses, again, depending upon what concentration you pick. So the courses that I'm speaking about are courses that I found important in my specific concentration. So if you go into ecology or secondary education, some of these courses you may not take. So I just want to put that out there again. But human anatomy 1 and 2, well, human anatomy and physiology 1 and 2, also known as AMP 1 and 2, just for short. You're going to talk about, again, cell biology. You're going to talk about histology and all the major systems of the body. So skeletal, muscle, nervous, cardiovascular, respiratory, digestive, endocrine, reproductive, excretory. So those systems, you're going to learn the ins and outs, what they do, what they don't do. And if you get a really good teacher, they might throw at you some NCLEX questions if you're interested in going to nursing school for maybe your master's or your doctorates one day, or you're interested in medical school or pharmacology. They might throw you some medical style questions to prepare you for the next level, which I think is really good. When I was at Notre Dame, I didn't take micro at Towson. I took it at a previous institution, but when I was at my prior institution, I had a professor who threw NCLEX style questions at us in microbiology because she knew a lot of us wanted to go to nursing school, and I found that really helpful when I got there because it wasn't my first time seeing that type of question. So just a side note, if that's something you're interested in, I would say when you're studying, try to answer questions like that, so when you get to the next level, you'll be set, you'll be straight. Molecular biology lab. So if you pick the ecology track or the cell and molecular bio track, you're gonna have to take a lab elective. For me, I picked molecular biology because that was a course that I was really, really good at. I got a B+ in it, so I kind of wanted to expand my knowledge on it, and I found that a lot more interesting than cell biology, and it was a really good professor. So what we did in that lab was we conducted research on E. coli to see if we can find short open reading frames that eventually encoded for proteins. And this is really important research that is still being done, and our data was actually submitted to a database. Unfortunately, my group, we did not find that our short open reading frame that we selected encoded for a gene, but that didn't necessarily discouraged us, because that means we can pick from a different segment of DNA to hopefully find a part of the reading frame that encodes for a gene. We can do different testing, things like that. So that was a really cool lab course that I took. But you're going to learn about gene structure, genome structure. You're going to be able to sequence DNA. You're going to do basically the things that you talked about in your lower level and upper level courses. You're gonna do PCR, you're gonna use DNA recombinase, you're gonna do Western blotting, you're gonna purify. Like, it's a really cool class. You're basically getting the hands-on experience through all the techniques you learned in your prior courses. Biotechnology is another course that I took that I found to be really cool. This is also an upper level course. But in this class, you're basically going to apply techniques that you learned in molecular biology as they relate to things like agriculture, medicine, ecology, and environmental biology. Intro to Bioinformatics, again, was another upper level course. I found it to be very intense. It was online. It was a lot of work. So basically in that course, you're using technology to perform sequencing on DNA. You're going to do multiple sequence alignments. You're going to look at the structure of protein. You're going to graph your findings. You're going to do a lot of work on the National databases. You're going to look at RNA databases, and you're going to make predictions. So it was a really cool course to take. I liked it. Chemistry. So for me, I had to take 3 chem courses. So Gen Chem 1, 2, and of course the infamous organic chemistry. Starting with Gen Chem 1 and 2, it's basically intro to chem. So you're going to look at structures of atoms and different molecules. You're going to look at stoichiometry. You're going to look at chemical reactions, physical properties, thermodynamics. That's basically 1 and 2 in a nutshell. Organic chemistry is a little bit different at Towson, and I appreciated it. So if you want to go on the medical track, then you are recommended to take organic chemistry 1 and 2. I didn't do organic chemistry 1 and 2, so I'm not going to talk about it. I took a course called Essentials to Organic Chemistry, which basically jam-packs Orgo 1 and 2 into one semester. So in 15 to 16 weeks, it is impossible to cover every little detail of Orgo 1 and 2. So it is a nice little summary. It's a lot of work, granted, because you're taking 1 and 2 in 15 to 16 weeks, but that summary is nice if you know you're not going to necessarily need chemistry, you're not interested in chemistry, or you don't necessarily want to go into the medical track. I enjoyed Orgo. I'm a chemistry person, so I enjoyed the challenge, but basically what you're going to be talking about is synthesis. In terms of the lab, you're going to be talking about synthesis. You're going to learn to identify organic compounds. And like I said, it's a combination of Orgo 1 and 2. So you are going to learn about different reactions. You're going to do reaction mechanisms, things like that. That's essentially organic chemistry, or at least essentials to organic chemistry in a nutshell. And last but not least, physics 1 and 2 I found to be challenging. I'm not a physics person, but you're basically going to talk about mechanics, heat, light, electricity, and magnetism. That's basically physics 1 and 2. And of course, you're going to have to take your cores, so your electives, your histories, your math, your English. So that is basically the cell and molecular biology concentration in a nutshell. These are 11, well, more like 13 courses. Well, maybe a little more than 13, but these are just a few courses that I found to be important that you'll take during your collegiate career if you choose this concentration, or specifically if you choose Towson for this concentration. So I hope this video was helpful to anybody that wants to go to Towson as a biology major. Again, I will put the links below so you guys can read more about these courses. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. And I'll definitely answer as many questions as I can. But I am very excited to open this thing, so let's do it. I waited forever for it to come in the mail. Because we did not get them at graduation. Oof. So let's see. So it comes in this. It says, "Congratulations, we are honored to be a part of communicating your recent achievement to you via mail. Your credential is a representation of all your hard work and such. We know how important it is that this document arrives in pristine condition. If damaged in transit, we will make it right immediately and drop off a replacement. Snap a picture. Great, fantastic. Congratulations again, the Parchment team." And this is what it looks like. Alright, let's see. Gotta get a case for it. Ooh. Ooh. That's crazy. Look at that. Oh yeah, that's nice. That is nice. It doesn't have my minor on it, but Towson University, Bachelor's of Science in Biology. And it has the seal. The seal is what makes it cold. Oh, that's awesome. Well, thank you guys for being here with me while I open it. Again, I am so excited for the future biology major, the future scientists in the making. I hope you guys enjoy your summer, and I wish you nothing but good luck and success as you pursue a biology major or whatever major you decide. Thank you so much for watching.